What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel and my first video ever, for that matter. This is PUBG Mobile, in case you didn't know, and it is myself going against squads. So we jumped Lipovka, or however you want to say it. The reason I did that is because it wasn't directly under the flight path of the plane, but it was still within parachuting distance. So before I take on any squads, I want to get somewhat decent loot, so I don't get destroyed instantly. Also in this match, I'm also trying to knock out some battle pass challenges, so I end up getting the AKM, which is not my go-to weapon, but I needed to get 10 kills with an AKM, so yeah. That being said, let's get into this video. As I was talking a few seconds ago, there's a guy in this red building that was downstairs. I'm waiting for him to just peek a window or something right now, and yeah, I hear this guy. Also at the beginning of the match, I seen two people parachute into the match, so at least half the squad was here, maybe a full squad. So as soon as I knock one guy, this guy jumps out the window to revive him, I'm assuming. Notice I don't instantly kill him right away. The reason I didn't do that is because he's literally just sitting there. So if someone wants to go revive him, I will knock them out too. In a few minutes, you'll notice that as soon as he starts moving, I end up taking him out, because I don't want to risk the chance of him getting revived and me having to knock him out again, which you'll see later on in the match, but we'll get to that when we get to it. This was a 30+ minute gameplay, and basically what I did is I cut out all the boring parts. Like I said, this is my first video ever, so I'm trying to get a good feel of what to do, what not to do. So if you have any recommendations, by all means, please let me know. That guy, I'm assuming, was part of the same squad, because as soon as I knocked out those two players, I started hearing this guy. So he ends up going into the red building across the way from me, and we have a good 5-minute standoff with each other. So we're gonna skip ahead here shortly, because I literally stand behind this wall and wait him out, because I'm not going to rush him, because I don't know if he has a fourth teammate with him. So eventually I end up pushing his building while he's shooting at another person, which you're about to see. The reason I did that is because he now knew where I was, because he just chucked a grenade at me. So once he starts shooting at this other guy, I'm going to push his building. But at the same time, just because I'm pushing his building doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to push him. I know he's on the roof, so I quickly get to this stairwell. However, it's another waiting game that he luckily makes quick this time. So we end up knocking him out and looting all these boxes and moving on to the safe zone. So there's a lot of skipping ahead coming up. So while we're getting through all that, I just want to say I'm always looking for teammates. So if you want to add me in-game, my in-game name will be in the description below. So don't hesitate to add me. I'm not sure if there's a friend cap on here, but if there is, if I have room, I'll add you. If there isn't, I'll add you. So I also needed to get a kill with a car, so I've spent about 5 minutes driving around in this thing, just looking for a bot to run over to knock out that battle pass challenge. But as soon as I did that, I got out, and this building is where a lot of entertainment happens. I end up knocking a guy out, I want to say 4 times, and then finally the 5th time was the charm. But every time I knock him out, he'd get revived. So, yeah, so you can see him running across the map. My sniping, I'm not going to say that I'm the best sniper in the game. I'm alright. But, yeah, I probably missed just as many shots as I hit. So, I end up getting a headshot on him, knocking him out. He goes behind a wall. I don't know. That bullet literally went over that guy's head. So, he's reviving him. If you didn't know this, you're about to find out, but you can pop the tires to cars. So to avoid the problem of them getting in that car and leaving, because they don't know where I'm at and they have no idea where I'm at for a good while, I pop the tires to their car, making it to where they can't leave. So I hear a car come up. I'm assuming because I fired a lot of Car 98 rounds that they were coming to me, but yeah, they were definitely going after these guys. So I'm not sure what these guys were thinking. Yes, my aim is horrible, I get it, but standing out in the open when you knew a sniper was there, there's the second knock on the guy. Standing out in the open when you knew you were getting sniped from where you don't know was not a good move on their part. So again, I'm missing shots. That should have been a headshot. So, like I said, I'm not the best sniper out there. I can get by with one. So, there's the 3rd time that I knocked Mr. Angel PV, IPV. I'm sorry. I can reassure you this is not the last time that I knock him in this video. So, they pull up in a second buggy. It's obvious that the buggy and the SUV were teammates because they weren't shooting each other. So, I move on to popping the tires to the buggy also, which you'll see that it looks like this guy goes up and checks the buggy, realizes that it's not really going to go anywhere fast, and goes back into the building, which ultimately keeps these guys in that building. But due to the multitude of Car 98 rounds I fired, I am now getting surrounded by an entire squad. At this point, I can literally hear footsteps all around me. So, yeah. I'm not gonna... I am camping, but at the same time, what do you expect me to do? If you look at the map, I'm literally surrounded by footprints. What do you expect me to do? So I end up staying in this building, getting that guy, making sure he's not going to get revived. They're somewhat smart. They pop a smoke right here, but they don't. One of them doesn't wait for it to fully go in, and so we end up getting a second here. And by now, I know for a fact that they know exactly where I am. So I'm going to do the little oop-de-loop on them. And you can hear them. They're going in pre-firing the corner because they thought I would still be there. Little did they know that I'm now downstairs. So now there's only 2 people left. I hear them jump down. So the turning you see me doing is me following where I hear their footsteps. So end up knocking him and taking out a full squad. So yes, I agree. I was camping, but at the same time, I prevailed and they didn't. So at the end of the day, I really don't care. So the same squad that Angel IPV is on is now shooting at a car. They're still at this complex. originally I did not see the guy on the roof until now. So I wait for him. I take my sweet time on this shot because I honestly got tired of missing Car 98 shots. So I knock him. He crawls to the other side of the roof. Imagine jumps off the roof so he can get revived. And the zone is closing at this point. So once it closes, I'm no longer in it. And I actually have to move towards these people. So as I was moving, I heard shots coming from the west, so I'm just checking over there, and now I'm going to this squad over here. So as I run up, they don't see me until I start shooting at them, and this is when I realized they're not the best shot ever. They hit me one time, so and this guy, if you get shot once, you should probably not stand there to get shot a second time. Just some friendly advice, because that guy literally did not move. So there's two left, one guy in a ghillie suit. I end up shooting the tree the first time. He does not move. And then that's the fourth time that we knock out Mr. Angel IPD again. I'm sorry. So him being knocked now, I know that they're going to revive him, so I figured it was a good time to push this building. As soon as I start pushing it, I start hearing footsteps. So I go to where the footsteps are and end up getting a second squad mate out. And honestly, if I was the guy in the ghillie suit, that was the fourth. He'd been knocked 4 times, and the 5th time was the time he finally got fully knocked out. But getting knocked 4 times, there is no way he had body armor. The 4th time I knocked him, it was with a headshot, so his helmet got exploded, basically. So, yeah, now it's me versus 2 people. So the shots I was hearing from the west originally were these same 2 people. They clearly never moved. So I'm also assuming that it's me versus 2 people because I heard 2 sets of gunshots coming from their direction, and after that I didn't hear anything. So it's almost like they're like, hey, we're over here, come get us, versus an actual gun battle. So the zone actually ends up going to them, so I obviously have to go to them. So yeah, I know one is in this building. I have no idea where the second one is at this time. So I end up, the zone again closes to them, so I end up pushing that block wall that's directly in front of the building that I know one guy is in. As I run up to this wall, I figure, like, well, if he's upstairs, I might as well throw a grenade in there. And yeah, you'll see what happens when I throw a grenade. I never seen where I was getting shot from until I rewatched this video, but I did see what he does right there. So I make sure to knock him completely out. If he would have got a 3rd shot off on me, it would have been game over, obviously. So now I know, I have a good feeling where the last guy is. So I stand by this wall and listen for footsteps, but I never hear any. Run in, and yeah, the guy's teammate just must have disconnected. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. If you have any suggestions for me, by all means let me know. I'm all ears. And if you want to play with me, send me a friend request.